As he left the Constitutional Convention, Benjamin Franklin was asked, "What kind of government have you all fashioned?" He answered, "A republic, if you can keep it." Neither Franklin nor any other member of the Congress that day, they knew they hadn't come up with a perfect government, but they were satisfied with their decisions and hopeful that this experiment would work, would endure, would last. So here we are some 242 years later, and some serious questions are now right in front of us. Has the experiment of keeping a nation together, made up of people of various races, backgrounds, creeds, based upon the principle that we all have certain unalienable rights, among these the rights to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, has this great experiment come to an end? In other words, have we been able to keep the republic that Franklin and others told us that we have to keep? Now, sure, there is no doubt at all, this is still a remarkable country, and Americans are some of the best when it comes to things like charity, helping others, especially those hit by natural disasters. We always seem to be there to help. But when it comes to things like morality, especially sexual morality, we contribute greatly in polluting the world. Everybody follows what us Americans do. Everybody. And we pull down the rest of the world, and because we're living in a country that's now split, not just politically, but morally, the rest of the world is becoming split. This country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. There's no getting around that. But in the past 40 to 50 years, politicians, activists, those in charge of various sectors of the economy, the judicial system, and so forth, have systematically worked on breaking down these Christian principles. And the reason why is extraordinarily simple. There's no guilt if you take away the rules. See, not that long ago, guilt was a good thing. Guilt is what got you to change your life. Guilt is what got you to go to confession if you're a Catholic. Today, guilt is a very bad thing. We can't feel guilty, so we have to get rid of guilt by getting rid of the rules. What do we do about this? You sit around waiting for the world to end? Well, you know, I got my satellite TV, I got my internet connection, I got my Starbucks, man, I'm good. Whatever happens, right? Is that what we do? You know, back in the Old Testament, the patriarch Jacob, he heard God promise the land that he was lying on would one day belong to all of his descendants. Many, many people have thought of our country as the promised land as well. In fact, Benjamin Franklin reminded the members of the Constitutional Convention that God governs in the affairs of men. He was the one who suggested that a chaplain be hired to lead prayer every morning before they began their deliberations. Boy, have times changed. Now, there are some who are trying to put God back fully into the comings and goings of government. It sure is difficult, isn't it? Franklin wasn't afraid that their efforts would be blessed by God if we just let God bless us. But he was very much afraid that all that they worked for, all that they did would be in vain if God were not part of the process. God has to be part of the process. God is not part of the process today. There's a little chapel really, in a small town in Ohio. A plaque on the door outside, it reads this: "This is a terrible place." Most people kind of look at that, kind of smile when they see that plaque. It's actually a direct translation of what Jacob said when he woke up from his dream when God spoke to him. He would have all these descendants. You see, more accurately, he and the plaque say, "This is an awesome place." That's what Jacob named the place where he was at back in the day, Bethel, which means house of God. That's the main problem today. Most people today see the church, especially the Catholic Church, as a terrible place, and do not see it for what it truly is, an awesome place. Once again, very, very simply, why? Even though we do have some brothers and sisters in our evangelical persuasion, some of our Mormon brothers and sisters who stand up for family issues, the Catholic Church is the only institution left that still stands up for Christianity and true Judeo-Christian beliefs. That's why people attack us. And you know they do. Let's not water that one down. So for those of us who are Catholic Americans, we got to step up, especially in our prayers, so religion can still maintain its voice in the public forum. We can still be faithful Americans because we are faithful Christians. Because most of us, if not all of us, right? We want to keep this experiment in liberty alive. But if we lose our voice as Christians, well, the writing's on the wall. Our country as it is now, it's not going to survive. Because today we resemble the last days of the Roman Empire more than the days of Benjamin Franklin and the great Constitution. What do we do? The prophet Amos in our first reading today gave us the basics that we have forgotten what to do. Seek good, not evil. Hate evil, love good. That's the basic component for any morality, even any decision. All of us, Catholic, non-Catholic, Democrat, Republican, Independent, young, old, rich, poor, we've all failed to do that at one time or another. Love the good, hate evil. We all can do this together, especially as Catholic Americans. And yes, not only will our church remain an awesome place, but so too will our country.